And we truly appreciate him being here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Mufi Hannemann.
Good evening, everyone. Aloha. I want to thank Tony and Carrie for putting on this event and apprising me of the opportunity I have to come tonight and demonstrate my support for Neil Abercrombie and Brian Schatz. You know, many people have wondered why I did this so quickly. It's usually the MO of someone who loses. You take your time, you commiserate, you go back where misery loves company, and you sort of just sit there, and sometimes you sulk, and you wonder what I'm going to do next, and all the things that went wrong, and what you got to do next time, and so forth. That's not in my playbook. I'm a Democrat. Yes, I'm not on the front lines anymore. I'm not the starting quarterback or the starting receiver, but I'm still part of the team. And that means I'm going to support this team. I was listening to our Lieutenant Governor, Kabi, and he's so right. It's going to come down to voter turnout. And to get people out to vote, we need to motivate them. You need to tell them why Abercrombie, is it Schatz or Schatz? Schatz. We need to tell them why the Abercrombie Schatz team is what we need for Hawaii. Now, I had the good fortune of working with both gentlemen. I've seen them up close. You might think, gee, how can he speak so warmly about them when a few months ago they were kind of going at it? Very easy, okay? One, you work as hard as you can to try to achieve your goals. And in the world of politics, as you can tell you, and all that are here tonight, who are office holders or have tried to be an office holder, if you will, or have been office holders in the past, you go through these competitions, if you will. You try to put your message out, and my feeling has always been, when you lose, you fold up your tent, and then you don't check out of the process. It's too important. The stakes are too high to allow the status quo to continue. Woo! Neil Abercrombie, and I've always said this when you and I was debating, did a wonderful job in Congress. Wonderful job. He always delivered whenever I asked him. And he helped me tremendously, especially with this rail transit project in Honolulu. Yes. Yes. And Neil's incredible years of federal experience. Now he's willing to bring all of that home and put it to use for us. And it's important that we have someone who's not only going to just talk the talk, but knows how to bring about change. And the Democrats can be at the forefront of a better quality of life for years to come, but we need to elect Neil Abercrombie as governor. So Democrats, we need to get every Democrat out there to vote. Okay, tell them do not take this race for granted. It's that important. And secondly, we need to work double overtime to get those independents and those undecideds out there. Let them compare our candidate with their candidate. And let them see in terms of his vision, his accomplishments, and what he has in mind and in store for the state of Hawaii, that will translate to meaningful change and opportunity for every family. Whether you live on Maui, Molokai, Lanai, Oahu, Kauai, the Big Island, that's what Neil Abercrombie will do. Leadership starts at the top, and he will bring that leadership to us. And Democrats need to realize that. Democrats are not going to change in the House, sports fans. Okay? They will continue to control the House here at home. Democrats will control the Senate. We've tried a Democratic House, Democratic Senate, and a Republican governor for 8 years. The highlight of every legislative session was this: how many bills is she going to veto, and how many bills is the legislature going to override? It's time to change that. It's time to see this scenario. how many bills is the legislature going to pass in concert with the governor who will sign them into law to improve the economy, to improve the environment, to improve the educational system. That's why I'm here tonight. I want everybody to hear that message. It's too important an opportunity to let this one go by and go back to the same old, same old. You want change, you want hope, you want optimism. That guy is Neil Abercrombie. So let's bring some noise. Let's bring on stage the next governor of the state of Hawaii, Neil Abercrombie.
Thank you. Mahalo. A big hand for Mayor Hannemann, please. Leslie, thank you. Thank you for everything.
I think it's very, very important that counties are so dependent on the state that if you have an opportunity with a Democratic governor who has been in Congress, who has a track record of helping counties with federal funds, as Neil Abercrombie has, it's going to be a wonderful and very positive experience for county mayors throughout the state of Hawaii. Neil Abercrombie as a congressman helped me tremendously when I was the mayor of Honolulu. He helped with all kinds of federal funding, grants, opportunities, was very, very proactive. Whenever I went to Washington, his door was always open in talking with me as the mayor of Honolulu. So I believe that will translate very well as the governor of Hawaii, because now he understands how federal grants can help the state and counties, and now being a chief executive officer of the state of Hawaii, certainly he knows if you have cooperation with county mayors, good things are going to happen. I think what we've seen for the past 8 years is a governor who has vetoed a lot of bills, and the legislature has overridden a lot of those bills. So that's sort of been the highlight of every legislative session, despite their best intentions. Why don't we change that around and have a legislature working in concert with the governor to see how many bills they can pass and sign into law that will benefit the economy, put people back to work, that will improve our educational system, that will improve our environment. That's what we need to have. And with Neil Abercrombie and Brian Schatz, you will have that working with the Democratic-dominated legislature who will work together for the common good, work together for working people throughout the state of Hawaii, and not spend too much time on who's going to get the credit, where did that bill, where did that idea emanate from. It's not about that. It's all about making sure we bring about positive change, and I'm confident that that's what we'll have with a Democratic governor, Democratic lieutenant governor, working with our Democratic legislature. It's very important for a governor to work with the county mayors. When we were faced with the threat of losing our hotel room tax, it would have been devastating to neighbor island counties. And that's why to the Hawaii Council of Mayors, where the mayors of Oahu, the Big Island, Kauai, and Maui work together to push back on a legislative scheme pushed by the governor that would have taken the hotel room tax away from the counties. We were able to form that bond, work with the legislature, and at the end of the day, common sense prevailed, and the counties were able to keep their portion of the hotel room tax. So imagine now if you have a governor who's going to be very sensitive to the counties, knows what the county needs, work with them, listen to them. You'll have good things happen. They'll spend less time playing defense, more time playing offense to bring about good legislation, good bills for the state and the counties.
And this is what's at stake today. Are we to honor that legacy of the Democratic Party? I agree with Mayor Hannemann that we are the recipients of a long and proud history, more than 50 years in the making, that has resulted in the opportunity for the most diverse people perhaps anywhere to be able to come together under a common banner. A common banner which says that we have as the very basis of what constitutes our vision of the world a diversity that defines us rather than divides us. In fact, it's so common to all of us. Just take a look around the room. In a certain sense, we almost take it for granted. Not because we're indifferent to it, it's because we're so used to it. Because we understand it's not what you look like. It's not what one's origin is, or the origin of one's parents or grandparents. It's what kind of contribution have we made? How are we related to one another? Not necessarily by blood, but by common purpose. People might think that it's impossible for Mayor Hannemann and I to have the relationship that you see clearly displayed before you tonight. We've been rivals for a long time. But as he has indicated tonight, that's not what this is all about. This is giving your best effort on behalf of those things that you believe in. Those things that you understand are the core of your being and how you present and justify yourself, not just to yourself, but the world around you. Now, if I sound a bit philosophical tonight to you, it's because this is the end, coming very quickly, of not just this campaign, but the culmination. You saw me smiling, or Mufi saw me smiling over there when he said, you know, Neil did a great job in Congress. Too bad he didn't stay there and keep on doing the job. It reminded me of when Lyndon Johnson was in the room in Illinois, I think, Mufi, right? And JFK was next to him, and Lyndon Johnson was reciting all the great things that he had been, why he's a terrific leader in the United States Congress, in the United States, and how he could get things done. And JFK got up and said, well, you convinced me, Lyndon. Why don't you stay as majority leader? Let me run for president. But you see, that's precisely the point, isn't it? Is that everyone here is here tonight because they're giving of themselves. Everyone here could be in a different situation tonight, doing something else. The fact that you came here tonight is something which I'm profoundly grateful. And so as we come to the end of this campaign, and we come together in this campaign, not just ending this campaign, but beginning a new era in Hawaii, an era in which we're all together in the spirit of aloha. And understanding that, I ask you tonight for your consideration. Everybody knows, and everybody who has cast their vote for Mufi, or cast their vote for me, and see us together tonight asking for your consideration, and the consideration of those whom you know, and who trust you, and who look to you. We know that those votes have been cast in faith, and they've been cast in trust for either of us on the basis of what we represent. And so I'm sure I speak for both of us when we say, we have always honored that faith and always respected that trust. And I can assure you tonight that Brian and I, in the tradition of the Democratic Party, will honor the trust and faith that you've extended to us throughout these campaign days. And if given the opportunity, we will not let you down. You can count on us. Mahalo nui loa. Aloha. Thank you, Mufi.